Hi, this is Donna Taggert, the dietitian for Department of Aging and Human Services. So this month I'm going to be talking about stress and stress management and can the diet help. Turn on the TV, watch the news, you're under stress. Everybody's got stress. So let's first hear what the experts recommend to how to deal with it. Number one, get active. Exercise is a great stress reducer. It releases those endorphins that give you that sense of well-being. Number two, they say avoid unhealthy habits, excessive caffeine, excessive alcohol, smoking, illegal substances. Don't do those. Number three, they recommend meditation. 4, they say laugh more because evidently physical changes happen in our body when we laugh. So let me give you a dad joke. What do you call cheese that's not yours? Nacho cheese. Get it? Haha, I hope everybody had a good laugh. Anyway, number 5 is connect with others. Our senior centers is a great way to do that. Lots of opportunities to have meals with each other, play cards, play games, whatever. Number 6 is get enough sleep, 7 to 8 hours at least. Number 8, seek counseling if you're just not feeling anything's working. That was 8. Number 7 was get creative. Again, the senior centers allow a lot of opportunity to be creative. Lots of crafts, different things you can do. Try something new. Finally, their last recommendation, that's me, eat a healthy diet. So first of all, when we think of stress, we think of comfort foods. Believe it or not, that term was coined back in 1966 from a Palm Beach newspaper used it. And in 1997, it was added to the dictionary. So who knew? The definition of a comfort food is a food that provides psychological comfort. They're often high calorie, often lots of sugar, a lot of fat in them, but they can vary from person to person. Some people might like sweet things, some savory, but generally it provides emotional support. It triggers a positive memory from something in our past and often cultural connections as well. And it activates the brain reward system that releases those feel-good hormones, dopamine and serotonin. They increase our mood, decrease the stress. They make us feel better, but it's often temporary. Long term, it can wreak our mental clarity, our focus, our cognition, and is really not conducive to overall health. Overindulgence can lead to negative health consequences like heart disease, diabetes, obesity, which in turn is like a circle and creates those anxieties and stresses from those diseases. So the key to managing comfort foods is being mindful about them and a balance. Being mindful of the potential long-term consequences, but striking a balance, saying, it's okay, I can have this once in a while, and correct back on course by the next meal so you're not continuing on with that negative consequences. You might also want to consider tackling whatever the issue is that triggered those indulgences in the first place. Now, there are many complex pathways through which the diet and nutrition can influence our brain. More research is needed, but there is emerging research that a healthy eating pattern, like the Mediterranean diet, wherever we heard that before, can help with better mental health. No food is a magic bullet, but a lot of nutrients packaged into foods. They're really doing a lot of studies on them to help find which foods kind of dial down that stress. Some of the nutrients are omega-3 fatty acids, protein, fiber, B12, magnesium, vitamin D. Ironically, all of them are found in the Mediterranean diet. One food in particular, salmon and fatty fishes, have a lot of those components. They have omega-3 fatty acids, they have protein, they have B12, they have magnesium, they have vitamin D. They really are a complete package of some of those mood-stabilizing nutrients. Magnesium is often deficient in the American diet, and that helps regulate our body's cortisol levels, which is a stress hormone. A great source of magnesium are in nuts, seeds, dairy, avocados. A lot of you know from the centers, I'm not a big fan of avocados, but I'm trying. Red meat, while it can increase risk for heart disease, diabetes, certain cancers, they have found in moderation, 1 or twice a week, can actually provide help for the mood, and that's because it's got a lot of protein, it's got a lot of B12, vitamin B12. Fiber, fruits and vegetables, nuts, seeds, whole grains. Why is fiber important? And probiotics fuels our gut. A healthy gut healthy brain. In fact, they're now saying the gut is like our second brain because it releases a lot of the neurotransmitters that our brain does. So that helps with our mood and the stresses. There's a lot of foods they're studying. Dark chocolate. Tea has something called L-theanine in it. It's a very powerful stress-reducing property in it. And you often wonder, have a cup of tea, sit down, can I offer you a cup of tea? Perhaps there's something more to that. Extra virgin olive oil, kombucha, oats, pumpkin seeds, walnuts, all being studied. But there are definitely foods we need to avoid if we can. Alcohol acts as a depressant, so be careful with that. Excessive sugar intake, a lot of trans fats that are found in your fried foods, your commercially baked foods, your snacks, all have the trans fats. These are all linked to increased risks of depression and anxiety. Timing of meals. You know, if we eat regular meals throughout the day, it keeps our blood sugars nice and steady. When our blood sugar is up, down, that can really affect our mood, causing stress. They did also a study, this was interesting, a 20-year study, 3,000 older adults. And they found these adults that ate breakfast later were associated with issues of fatigue, depression, anxiety, and increased mortality. So don't put off eating breakfast too long in the morning. You know, when you get up, it's important to get that breakfast in. Proper hydration affects your brain, mood, function, everything, so stay hydrated. So obviously research is the relationship between nutrient and mental health has been really in the news. It's been, you know, in the studies recently, but what they're finding is adherence to the healthy diet, Mediterranean diet example, is associated with a decreased risk of depression. So increasing our fruits and vegetables, our legumes, fatty fishes twice a week, moderate amounts of those eggs, poultry, dairy, and really kind of being careful with the amount of red meat. 1 or 2 times a week is fine. Be very careful of those highly refined carbohydrates. They are often the comfort foods we turn to, but be, again, mindful. Allow yourself, give yourself permission to do it, but get back on track as soon as possible. When you give yourself permission, often you don't even want to do it, since now you know you can't. Sometimes our brain is like, yeah, do it. So it's important to really be careful thinking about what you're doing and what you're eating and why are you eating it. If you do want more information about the Mediterranean diet, you can go to www.oldwayspt.org. It'll be on the screen for you. You can also, there'll be a link so you can, if you want to access and print this out. This is from Old Ways, and it's understanding the pyramid, the Mediterranean pyramid, and it has a lot of good information. And, you know, even if you can just do a few things from it, we already know the Mediterranean diet is good for our brain, good for our heart, good for our bones, good for our gut, and now we know it's good for our mental health as well. So you can't go wrong. It's been rated #1 diet in the United States by U.S. News, World and Report for many, many years, and rightly so. It really has all the components to keep you healthy and feeling good mentally as well. So next month I'll see you. We talk about high blood pressure. It is in May, High Blood Pressure Education Month. So we'll kind of delve into that and see what we can do with the foods we eat. See you next month.